Now, as I continue, make sure we get them likes up. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you jump on here. I'm only giving y'all a few minutes today, but now we're about to get to our main vein, as they would call it, because we were talking about Elon Musk last night, and Elon had kind of an issue on X where people were upset about him saying that everyone needed to be nicer. But today I woke up to people being more upset about his political commentary because he started talking about this grooming gang from some, I guess the British people. And then he puts up a post a few hours ago that says America should liberate the people of Britain from their tyrannical government. So when you say America should liberate, that sounds like war. That sounds like you're saying somebody needs to come over there and gut something and liberate it. You see what I'm saying? So here's where the thing is. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was on the podcast talking about what he was doing with that House bill to fund the government and the fact that he was able to put out so much information so quickly. He goes from talking about everybody needs to be nicer to literally smearing this dude for whatever it is that he did with some children. Now, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but what I am saying is exactly what Allison Warner, shouts to you, stop it in the chat, just said, is I kind of think Elon needs to fall back on the politics because maybe he's better at making rockets and Tesla cars and coming up with innovative ideas over there than being super involved in U.S. and the U.K. and Britain in their politics. Because in here, I'm seeing the comments, and this is on X. This is his forum. And the people are going in on him saying, bro, stay in your lane. How about that? How about you go back to shooting off rockets and figuring out how the hell you and the billionaires are going to move to the moon and Mars, and how you're going to put internet around the entire globe where you can hit it from the new Tesla phone. Like, I'm with all that. Do the innovative stuff. But he's speaking on the UK. He's also speaking on the US. He's also on X every 30 damn minutes putting a post up over here. And maybe Grok is helping him come up with it, but he's putting this stuff up. And if you come onto a forum like that you own, Elon can pin a message to X. See, I can pin a message to my page, right? I can pin a message to the top of my page, whereas if you come to my page, you will see that message. That's the best I can do. Elon can pin a message to X. Everybody gonna see it. So when he does put these things up, it's not without knowing that 1 million or 2 people are going to see it in 10 minutes. And I think that in and of itself is almost unfair, because you can use that to the good, but you can also use that to the bad. And if somebody pays you to use it to whatever direction, now we're back to the same bullshit we started with. Just Elon Musk is getting paid for it instead of CNN. You see what I'm saying? It's the same problem, just with a different face on it. Just like when he changed Twitter, turned it to X, it's the same site, just with a different logo. But now that he took it over, and I'm all about free speech, y'all know that. Y'all know that. I'm all about free speech. But I don't feel that certain people's speech should be able to, like, overshadow everybody else. Elon owns X, but his algorithm puts his stuff in front of everybody. He's always trending on his own platform. So whatever he says, everybody going to see it. If I say something, only a few people are going to see that because I'm not able to pin things to X. So it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. And I initially saw that when I saw it happen with the House bill, and I was like, it's a dangerous slippery slope. But I did appreciate the transparency of letting, the American public know that there was all that extra stuff in that bill. I appreciated that transparency. I did. And I spoke to that when that happened. But as I'm seeing now, if you've got a crazy billionaire who thinks he's a politician, hold on, we got Trump. All right. Well, if you got billionaires playing politicians, then you're going to get billionaires doing billionaire shit, which is what Elon's doing. I don't have a forum where I can put up a post and 2 million people see it in less than 10 minutes. It's not possible. I don't have that kind of reach. He has too much reach into technology to be siding with anything in politics. He's going to have to learn to be transparent or stay the hell out of politics. There's no question about who he's voting for. There's no question about how he feels. So he will push that narrative on X if that's how he feels. The fortunate thing about X, is, I will say, is people can come in and comment on Elon stuff. So at least he leaves the comments open so that I, as the objective thinker, and you guys as the objective thinkers, when you go on there, you can see that other people are like, Elon's on some bullshit. See what I'm saying? So I appreciate that to a degree, that at least he's not censoring that yet. But didn't he say he wanted everybody to be nicer? Okay. So I'm gonna scroll through this. But right here, he's got the votes coming through here. And this was in 2 hours. He had a bunch of people talking about liberating Britain from the tyrannical government. Okay. Now, you're saying Britain has a tyrannical government. Hey, that's opinion. But when you start talking about America should liberate, you talk about me. I live here. You see what I'm saying? So when you start saying America should do something, remember, you talk about me. You think you just talk about Trump. You think you're just talking about the elites, but no, you're talking about me. So I don't want to liberate Britain. I don't know them like that. I don't want to have no parts of that. I don't want to have no parts of Canada, because we got more than enough shit going on here that's not fixed, that we don't need to be liberating nobody else. So him jumping on there, even saying that, to me is immature and stupid. And I know he's going to be mad because he told us that we have to be nicer. But if I'm making an observation of something being without intellect behind it, and I say that it's stupid, that's not being mean. That's just me saying that's what that is. You see that? That thing is that. You see a lion and you call it a lion, it's a damn lion. You see a snake, you call it a snake, it's a snake. You're not insulting the snake by calling it a snake. You're just identifying it. And that's the thing. Like, for me, I'm not an educated politician or anything like that. I'm just a citizen that pays taxes. And so I do watch politics, especially on the local level. I pay a little bit more attention there. But I just think it's an unfair movement that Elon's doing right now, because what he's doing is he's positioning himself for whoever has the highest amount of money to now come and just pay him to do what he's been doing. Now, granted, it says 60% of people surveyed said that Musk should not become influential in British politics. Now, first of all, he's already influential because he runs the forum that everybody's on that's getting this information. And everybody's not on X, but if we boycotted X, like, how are you going to do that? I would love to hear how that would happen, because we're not unified on shit else. So nobody's going to boycott X either. And it sounds amazing, though. It would be a great idea. The result would be what we're looking for, but the action is impossible. Just like the Walmart boycott we talked about last night. That sounds great. Sounds like you might do something, but how are you going to do that? People got to buy food, and there's Walmart's right there. I'm not going to drive extra 10 miles to go to something else when Walmart's right there. That doesn't mean I don't agree with you. That means I got to get my food. So Elon's already in. He's in knuckles deep, as they say. His fingers are all in it, and it's basically, at this point, what he's trying to say is these are his opinions, and he's doing his own thing. So we need to stop looking at him as someone who has any influence. He's just a person that has reach. There's a difference. That means when he says stuff, more people see it. But that doesn't mean that we as people cannot look at it and call bullshit. And if he's putting up a lot of stuff, we have a lot of opportunities to call bullshit. Okay? So I'm not saying that he should stay in politics, because it's getting out of hand. This whole, I don't know what's going on with the groomer gang and all that, but I hate when they bring up shit and it'd be something that happened a long time ago, and it's like y'all all knew about it all this time, and you want everybody else to just be mad about it now because you now want to get back at somebody. But it's been going on. It's like a known thing, like the Diddy thing. Went on for 20-something years, and now everybody's supposed to be upset about it. Did nobody care for 20 years? So shut up. We got bigger fish to fry. I hate to say it that way. But anyway, so I think Elon is trying to utilize his position to get somebody to pay him to do it. That's what I think. But yeah, they're talking about he's going full Putin. But like I said, the beauty of X in this regard is he didn't cut off the comments. So everybody's able to talk their trash or express their dissatisfaction back to him, which I'm seeing pretty much everybody saying, hey, after everything you've accomplished, why are you working so hard to ruin your legacy with these outrageous and indefensible takes? So America should mind their own business. Well, I've been saying that because we got business to mind. So I think if we got to that, that'd be cool. And we just started minding our own business and like took care of the people here, took care of our soldiers here so that they're not losing their minds when their wives divorce them and go and try to harm themselves in front of Trump International. Like that's how weak our country has become. That our biggest terror threat is a man going through a divorce. And that's who we're supposed to be worried about. Something that happens all the time, every day over here. We've got to be worried about depressed men who are going through divorce issues. So maybe we need to deal with how people handle divorce. Maybe we should start working on that family court type of stuff. Like maybe if that's the problem, if that's what's triggering people to go get, converted over to these other terrorist organizations. I know I'm gonna get in trouble for using that word because they don't like that word, but that's what they're talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So let's just hypothetically say that one organization that is a negative organization gets their talons up into Elon and he starts pushing information across this board that is negative in what its result will be. Then it's still up to us to sift through the bullshit. And that's what I want people to understand. They're very upset about Elon in politics. And so I want to say, first of all, number one, I do think that he should fall back on the whole politics, like trying to be that involved. You're next to the president, you're next to the prime minister, you all over the place. You know what'll happen? Somebody will put you in their crosshairs and you might end up not as lucky as Trump was in Baker, Pennsylvania. If that, you know what I'm saying? He's human too. And you know how it is. If they want to touch you, they can touch you. They can touch you. So I think he needs to just chill out. I'm not saying that if he sees information about, let's say like, if he sees some corruption information or something like that, I would love for him to put that out there. I would love to hear about that. But if you're really just throwing out opinion, that's dangerous because some people think Elon Musk knows everything because he's a very smart guy. And a lot of people assume that this person that's really good at something, like especially technical stuff like robotics and all that kind of stuff, then they just assume that, if they grasp that concept, they can grasp any concept. And then if they grasp any concept, then they must know politics now. But Elon Musk isn't a politician. I don't even know if he took a course in like law or anything. You know what I'm saying? So he's just expressing his opinion, but his opinion has too much damn reach. And that's my issue. It's like, can I get a post out? Like you running the whole damn news cycle on X basically because you own it. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't have the right to post and put up information. But why does that have to be the first thing I see every time I get on X? Even if I wasn't just looking at that. That's not fair to me. I might want to have a different conversation. And nobody gets to see our stuff. They get to see Elon's stuff. And he makes sure of it. It's like he can tag the whole app. I can tag my friends. I can put a hashtag in there and hope that somebody's searching for it. But he can tag the whole damn app. So that's a dangerous place of power. And with much power comes much responsibility. Y'all know that phrasing. So Elon just needs to be careful How far into that lane he goes. He's entitled to his opinion. He is, because everybody on social media has an opinion now. Everybody's on the right. Everybody's on the left. Everybody's for this rights and these rights and migration and immigration and deportation and all the Asians, right? So you're entitled to that. But he has an unfair advantage. He, as a person, has an unfair advantage. See, when you look at Facebook, it's not like Mark Zuckerberg is posting on everybody's Facebook every day or Instagram. You see what I'm saying? He's not on your Instagram feed every day pushing a political view. He's not on your Facebook every day pushing a political view, because he could tag the whole damn app. But he's not doing that. It's not like the Xinjiang Shang Shang guy from TikTok is on TikTok every day putting up a post and tagging the whole app so everybody's seeing it. So I just think Elon's entitled to his political views, but I think he needs to stop cheating. Stop cheating. You cheat. Because now you've made it so everybody's got to pay for the damn service to get the little blue tick in order to respond to things. That was a setup. It was, all this stuff was free before. You said it was going to remain free, and then all of a sudden it became, oh, well, you pay this for verification, and you'll get more reach if you verify. Guess what? My reach did not increase when I verified at all. It was still just naturally kind of building slowly like it would do. So if you want to check me out on X, it's Papa Purge on X. If you want to go check that out, and it's mostly clips from this show and a couple of interesting little quips that I might throw on there, but Elon it's like he's got the home field advantage on that. And that home field advantage is its own thing. Now, I've heard about Blue Sky, but then when I go look up Blue Sky, it's like the opposite of X, which is a whole bunch of the opposite of X. And the opposite of X is not necessarily what I'm asking for, because the opposite of X is just somebody who feels as strongly about stuff, but on the other side, which is too much of the other shit. Because honestly, most of it is fluff, and whoever's just, if you angry about something, you're going to make your points. But for those of us that can look through and really pull information, we'll be able to pull information from both sides. And so I understand Blue Sky is its own. It's not Elon filled. I'll give it that. Elon doesn't run Blue Sky, but Blue Sky is its own echo chamber on another side. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's called Blue Sky. People make the statement on purpose. You know, like if you call something black people meat, then there's going to be black people on there. So Blue Sky had to do with the blue, which was the Democrats. So they're telling you what the root is. Now, you will get more information than Elon. I'll say that, because Elon takes over the information. But it doesn't mean that that's a non-biased app or a platform either. So you got to watch that kind of stuff. Everything has an algorithm, and everything that has an algorithm can be paid for. Somebody can pay for SEO implementation. They can pay for Google ads so that Google shows their stuff more and more. It's all for sale, because views are the money. Views, watch time, all that, because it's all about advertising. That's what YouTube is about. The longer I stay on here, the longer y'all stay on here, the more YouTube can show ads, and the more they can make their money from the advertisers that paid for it. That's it. And they just use my time to do it. So Elon is doing the same thing. I'm sure his page is fully monetized. It's like he's making money both ways. He's making money from the people paying for it. He's making money from the fact that his page is getting the most views of anything on X by far, because he basically pins the whole app. And then we come through with oh yeah, Allison, thanks for the comment as well. With Blue Sky, because that was who Blue Sky was started by. It was started for that reason, to get away from X, which was a red-sided echo chamber. So that's why they did Blue Sky, because you couldn't get that kind of information on X. It was not flowing through, and that's not fair either. So I agree that people should have the ability to get their information out and their opinions out, and allow people to speak to them like I do. That's why I come on here. I have my own opinions about Elon. Somebody else will say, hey, Elon needs to stay in politics. Hey, Elon's the greatest thing that happened to politics. Somebody might feel like that, and that's fine too. That's why we live here. We all live here. So if Elon decides to get into politics, I just don't want him to mess it up. That's what I'm saying. At this point right now, he's just talking too damn much. But he ain't really done nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he hasn't really done anything. He hasn't really created or broken anything. So right now, he's just yapping too damn much. You know? And we need to come out there like Suge Knight did at the what was that, the BET Awards. Like, if you don't want your producer all up in the video and all up in the songs, that's how I feel about Elon. We don't really need you all up in everything, bro. We need you all up in them rockets and finding a way to make Teslas cheaper and maybe help out with coming up with a way to put more safety features on the existing vehicles to help with automation, so that we can get into that. Because that seems like a much better job for Elon. Go do what you've been doing. You were good at that. Nobody was upset. I mean, other than the people that were working at Tesla not getting paid enough, but nobody was upset when you were just the Tesla guy. I'm sure he had some enemies, but I'm saying, like, in a grand sense, you weren't in front of everybody like you become when you start fucking with politics. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll put it like this. Elon Musk may be mentioning certain things, but there are plenty of issues that he's not bringing to Front Street. These issues that he brings to Front Street do seem to have an underlying scent of profitability for him. So being in certain parts of the government and trying to reserve certain bills and fundings helps him as a government contractor and getting government subsidies. So now I'm going to be honest. I'm not into British politics, so I don't know about the stories with the young girls and the grooming gang and all of that kind of stuff. And if that bodes to be true, then it follows the same mantra as everything else. Everybody knew it for years and didn't do anything about it. So I'm quick to get over the exposure and start to focus on why didn't y'all say nothing about it if that's what's really going on. Not to say that's not what's really going on. I'm saying if that's what's going on, why the hell aren't you saying anything about it? Why are we allowed to stay silent on things that have to do with the children? It's like whenever you speak up about something that has to do with kids, it's either like you would think it would be easy. Like if somebody says, hey, I don't want grown ass men in the bathroom with my granddaughter who's, 4 years old. Like, I don't want to have to tell that guy not to go in there. I'd rather him just go in the men's room. But if today he decides he wants to be a woman, I'm supposed to, like, be okay with that. No. Mm-mm. I don't care who he identifies as. That's not happening. You know why? Because that's where I come from. So we don't have to even go into those debates. If that's not what's happening, why are we bringing all of that to the... Elon need to stay where he need to stay. We don't need to be having bathroom debates. We need to be making sure that people are getting a damn education and not be worried about the bathroom in the building. But to the same degree, why would you want a guy in the bathroom with the little girl? Like even if you're like, well, that doesn't happen, but why would you even want it to be allowed? Like, even if it didn't happen up until now, and you're like, well, that's never happened before. Why would you want it to be then allowed? Because I guarantee if you allow it, then it will fucking happen. Just like with these guys that end up in the women's prisons. Once you put them in there, what happens? Next thing you know, all the women start popping up pregnant. But he was supposed to be a woman when he went in. Yeah, okay. Bullshit. I smelled it. I called it. So for Elon's situation, I know he's not bringing up those other issues that I think as a regular person should really be addressed. He's really more or less doing things that have more of a budget connected to it. And that feeds him. And I see that. And I'm not mad at him per se. But he ain't fooling me. You know what I'm saying? He ain't fooling me, bro. And that's, like I said, there's no disrespect to the bathroom thing. No disrespect to the bathroom thing. But I just think that's a stupid conversation. We got plenty of room in the men's room. Plenty of urinals over there. You ever been to an event like a football game and the men's room line is normally shorter than the women's room line? So we got plenty of space over the men's room. So you don't have to go over there. Come on over here. We won't say nothing. We won't bother you about your dress that you're wearing. We'll just say, all right, at least you're keeping it real. And we'll let you do what you got to do. Ain't going to be no violence. They want us to think that, what, men are going to be in there beating up other men because they came in the bathroom with a dress on? That's dumb as shit. First of all, I don't have that kind of time. I'm just here to pee. You understand what I'm saying? But they want you to believe that that's what happens if a man who feels like he wants to put the outfit on comes into a men's room. So if you think men are like that, then why the hell would you want them going in the women's room? See how dumb that sounds? God, they kill me with that shit. And make sure y'all get the likes up too, man. We don't even need to be wasting time with that conversation. There's plenty of room in each bathroom. Just everybody do what the hell y'all been doing. We don't have to change that for life to be okay. I've never seen this violence that they've been talking about that goes on when people go into the men's room and they're dressed as women. That would assume, like, if an actual biological woman went into a men's room, that the men in there are just animals and they're just going to beat her up and R-word her. No, that's not going to happen. Most times they'll be like, ma'am, here's the stall over here. I see you must have been trying to get out the ladies' room line. And they'll make sure ain't nobody in there trying to do nothing goofy too. And they'll be protective in the same regard. So if they would be protective in that situation, why would they not be protective of, for me personally, I have grandchildren. My children are grown-ups, and I don't want no full-blown dude in there with my daughter in her 20s. So I definitely don't want that going on with the younger ages. So I get it. If that guy over there was into some grooming gang stuff, he shouldn't be in politics, and Elon is very upset about it. But Elon, where the hell were you when it was going on if it's already been going on? You're late. Mr. Rocket Man, you're late. And now you want everybody to be upset about it and that. No, man. Just tell them about the politics and tell me about the next damn rocket that you're going to have come down and catching the thing. Man, that shit was slick. I saw it. Work on that. You said your piece about how you felt about that guy, but don't send it every 30 minutes. Don't pin it to X. Don't put it in my face all day. I wanted to see some hilarious stuff. I wanted to see, the funny clips, but I got to go through 6 Elon is mad about this clips before I get to the shit I'm actually trying to see. And I don't want to unfollow Elon because he does from time to time. He'll put some cool robotic stuff on his thing. Some new invention or whatever that they're working on. That stuff I do want to see, but I don't want to see him talking to, showing a bunch of images of people that were, R-worded. And it seems like if it was going on, you should have took care of it. That's all I'm saying. And for some reason, when I say that, people get mad, like, you're victim blaming because they were so scared. And okay, all right. Well, the victims, yes. But when you're talking about like a whole government entity, like there's a whole thing going on, like nobody was going to say nothing, not the janitor that walked in on some goofy shit. Nobody. Everybody's that broke that they have to keep their job, even though they're watching and viewing things that they know they don't want to see. Somebody always leaks it. Every time. So Elon has now decided that he's going to jump into politics. We got Andrew Tate running for the Prime Minister of the UK. We got Elon Musk all up in British and American politics. Donald Trump has been elected the president. Can anybody tell me where in the Matrix this shit is? Where in the Matrix is that? Because that's where we are. Right now, that's all going on simultaneously. You don't believe me? Check out the internet. Yes, Andrew Tate is running for the prime minister. Elon Musk is beefing with Britain. And Macron is beefing with Elon as well in Germany. So he's like the villain right now. So he needs to just chill out. And see, the other thing about it is sometimes you become the villain because you're exposing things. So it could be that too. But we don't really know yet. You got to bring real hard evidence out. Pause. You got to bring us some video, like the Cassie video with Diddy. If you didn't believe it before then, you were like, oh, once you saw that. Elon has access to all the digital stuff he needs. If you want to tell us about these girls and all the stuff that's going on, then you put it out the right way and just put it out that way. But don't continuously talk shit all day about the same person over and over and over and over again and pin it through X so everybody has to see that all day. That, to a degree, is a bit of interference because you're interfering with the algorithm of the person that's just there to be entertained by, some puppy dogs with Chucky outfits on. You know what I'm saying? And you throwing this in there. Sorry, I had to take a minute, man, because I really think about it, and I'm worried that even though I saw there was a change in independent media getting a little bit more view, when they decide they don't want us to get that, we just don't. Elon and them still have that power. So it's nice of them to have said that, hey, we want to open up the First Amendment and let everybody get their pieces out and say what they got to say. And yeah, I don't really think that's what happened. I don't think that's what happened. I don't. I think he said that, sounded good, shit smelled funny. And now we're looking at it. Because I don't have that kind of time, man. I don't. Politics is one thing, but I don't have that kind of time. I don't. To just be worrying about the UK government and the US government and German government. Why does he care about all these governments? Because the dude got money in all these governments. So it's all self-serving. And I'm not mad at that. I just want to make sure that everybody identifies these things and say he's not doing any of this for any of y'all. It has nothing to do with us. It has to do with him and what he's working on in his life. And we're just freaking passengers on this thing. So yes, he should stay out of politics. Will he? Nope. Not until somebody sues him, and they can't. They couldn't sue him when he was giving out $1 million checks during the Trump campaign. They couldn't sue him when he put that stuff out around Christmas about the House bill that was funding the government in America. They can't do nothing about what he's doing. Free speech, First Amendment. So he is protecting it, and he's showing you how protected it is by taking shits all over the internet and making sure everybody sees it. You know what? I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. Dude, I got to give it up for him. I really do. Everybody, let's give it up for Elon Musk. He pulled the fast one. He's amazing at the fast puller. He did that. He did that. He did that. Elon, that's for you. Elon, that is for you, buddy, because we see what you're doing. Can't stop you. How am I going to stop him on X other than just not being on X? And my little ass not being on X don't stop shit. That's why you got to stay on X. It's the same thing with that boycott thing I was talking about. It don't stop nothing. If I stop X, most people ain't going to stop X. All of the folks on the right are definitely not going to stop using X. You see what I'm saying? So it's going nowhere. Stay over there so you can see the information, see what everybody's talking about. That's why you want these things to be there. It does add to the transparency. I can see Elon don't like to stay in his lane. I can see that. I can see that. And I can see why he might not want to, because every one of those governments has the ties to the money that the subsidies he uses pay him. So there you go. That's why he's doing that. He's not into politics, but politics is into him. That's where his money comes from. So yeah, he's not trying to be a politician. That's why he's not running for no office. But he will try to skew things in a certain direction that will benefit him. Wouldn't you do the same? Wouldn't you do the same? I sure as hell would. I ain't even mad at him. I'm a little